Howdy folks, I'm Lawless Large White, libelously lying about lucky ladybugs.
I'm Amber.
And here are more lucky ladybugs for us to libel about? I mean, why... I guess we're calling them lucky, but we're also libeling them. I'm not really sure what's going on here.
I mean, you might be claiming that they're not really lucky and they are.
Oh, I guess that would be a good case of libel, if you could prove that luck exists. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Getting My Colleague in Trouble for Calling Me His Work Wife? Well, some time ago, a 29-year-old female was assigned by my European-based employer to work on a project at our U.S. location. Part of my assignment was training a new hire within the special area of expertise. This new guy is about 10 years older than me and hired for a management position. However, he is in no way my superior, as I take on more of a counseling role with the local team. I noticed straight away that he was very outgoing and sociable, joking around with a lot of his colleagues. Quite different from the men that I'm used to, as I come from a Northeast European country where the male stereotype can only be described as silent. He immediately took an interest in me and started jokingly flirting and complimenting me on my looks. This made me uncomfortable since we are both married, and I felt that it was very inappropriate. It also made me feel as if he did not respect me professionally when comments like, "You look so cute when you're serious," would interrupt my training sessions with him. The assignment itself was a big deal to me, and I wanted nothing more than to exceed expectations, which is why I was reluctant to bring this up and quote-unquote create drama. I tried ignoring his behavior, but the last straw for me was when he started calling me his quote-unquote work wife openly in the office. I understand that this term is used in a joking manner in U.S. office culture, but we absolutely do not have anything similar in my home country, and if word would get around back home about this, I would have to explain to my husband why some random man decided to call me his wife. To avoid this, I decided that I need to put an end to the casual flirting and jokes from this man. Well, I sat him down one-on-one and I told him, in short, that he has to stop calling me his work wife. He seemed like he understood, but maybe I was being too nice or vague in my approach towards him because he acted no different in the following days. This made me frustrated, as I felt that I now have to either go to his and my boss, or risk this reflecting badly on my assignment, or risk conflict in my marriage. I ultimately decided that my marriage is more important than my job, and I told my boss about my issue. Luckily, my boss took me seriously and told me that he would handle it and stop worrying about it. I'm not sure what went down after this, but the flirting and the compliments from my colleague abruptly stopped. I was relieved, but also felt that my colleague acted very cold towards me after this all happened. I successfully finished my training sessions with him and the assignment and relocated back home. Now, in retrospect, I'm wondering if I overreacted due to the cultural differences between the U.S. and my home country. Maybe what my colleague was doing was just normal social interaction, and I acted like a complete jerk, getting him into trouble with our boss for merely joking. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk. What he was doing was sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
You made it clear to him that you didn't want him doing this. It doesn't matter how he feels about it if he likes calling you his work wife.
Yeah.
Once you say no, that's his cue to stop. If he doesn't stop, then whatever happens from there is on him.
Yeah, he's had plenty of sexual harassment trainings throughout his adult life. He knows better than to do this. This is like the classic textbook example that they put into the videos for you to watch. Don't do this if you don't want to be, sexually harassing someone. He chose to ignore OP. Like, OP even confronted him and asked him to please stop. And he ignored her and doubled down on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not OP's fault at that point in time. He chose to continue to do this despite OP's request.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had to have known that he was going to get in trouble for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he was just thinking that OP was going to not call him out or try to get him in trouble.
Yeah.
And he was using that to his advantage, and it's pretty gross. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And M1 Spliced Fan says, not the jerk, and he was acting unprofessional. And Scarlet Not That One says, congratulations on both completing your assignment successfully and shutting down a creep who thought that he could get away with sexually harassing you. You're a hero, not the jerk. And Worth Season 3645 says, not the jerk, you did nothing wrong. You approached this male colleague first and then asked him to stop. You were uncomfortable and he did not stop. That's harassment. You did the right thing by reporting him. I bet other women that he works with will thank you. And Neko Lover XX says, that's not cute office banter. That's him ignoring your boundaries after you told him to stop. Cultural differences or not, once you say this makes me uncomfortable, it's game over. He had a chance to act normal and he didn't. So you protected yourself, your marriage, and your professionalism. That's not an overreaction. That's respecting yourself. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Letting My Colleague Borrow My Charger After She Kept 2 of mine before? Well, at work, I usually keep a phone charger at my desk because my battery dies quickly. In the past, a colleague has borrowed my chargers and then forgotten to return them. Twice I've had to go to her desk and ask for them back, and both times they came back weeks later looking worn out. Well, yesterday she came over again saying that her phone was at 5% and asked to use my charger just for a little while. I told her that I would prefer not to lend it to her because the last 2 times I didn't get them back quickly. She rolled her eyes and said that I was making a big deal over a simple charger and that I should learn to be more generous. Now, a couple of people in the office think that I was being petty, but I feel like I was just setting boundaries after being taken advantage of. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. If those other people want to lend out their chargers, they can. And also, why is it you who has to be generous? What is this colleague actually doing to be generous? How is she supporting others?
Yeah.
Sounds like this is probably a one-sided thing.
It does seem very one-sided. I think that OP is not in the wrong here. They can decide whether or not they want to loan out their phone chargers or not. And maybe this will teach her in the future that she needs to be more prepared. Like, once is understandable. Twice is a little bit less understandable. And now she's coming to OP a 3rd time to borrow a charger.
And not only that, but she's returning them way late, so OP can't use it, and in worse shape.
Like, when you borrow something of someone's, you should always return it in the same condition as when you borrowed it. And the fact that he didn't, it's just really, or the fact that she didn't is just really poor form. So no, I don't think that OP is in the wrong here. I think that she needs to figure this out on her own, or go and ask some of the other people in the office for their own phone chargers. And the one thing that OP could do is they could tell her that if they want to leave the phone here with them, that they'll charge it and then she can come and pick her phone up later. You know, and that would be a good way of keeping their charger without lending it out and ensuring that she, doesn't steal OP's cards. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Worried Suit 4820 says, the couple of people in the office can supply her with their charges. Good job. Chargers, not charges. And Electronic Shop 1396 says, not the jerk. She doesn't borrow, she loots. You're not petty, you're just closing the borders. People who forget to return things never forget to ask for them again. And Doris is a Squin 45 says, exactly. Once, it's happened twice, it's a pattern. Office chargers are like gold. Once they're out of your sight, good luck getting them back in one piece. And Scarlet's Legacy says, not the jerk. My charger stays with me. If you need to charge your phone, guess the phone stays with me too. And S. Karina W says, I generally will lend mine and will hunt down at the end of the day if it hasn't been returned, but I like this as a compromise for the person that is guilty for forgetting to return it the most often. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Pay for a Crate My Dog Broke After the Sitter Crated Him Against My Instructions? I need some insight into this situation. I recently went out of town and paid to have my dog boarded at someone's home who does this for a living. I paid around $500 for 2 weeks. He is very well behaved. I let her know that he's not crate trained and that he just sleeps inside on the floor. He has never used a crate as we don't need one for him. She stated that this was perfectly fine as her house is gated off by a floor and only one other dog would be there during this time. Well, come to find out that while I was gone, she locked him in a crate for a few hours so she could go out for a friend's birthday. Well, I guess at some point he panicked since he's never used a crate and broke out of it and broke the crate. During the process of breaking out of it, he somehow ripped his collar. She says that his ID tag and an Apple AirTag that I have attached to his collar were destroyed in the process. Now she's asking me to buy her a new crate, which costs over $100. And I'm a little confused about whether I should purchase it or not, as I've explained to her that he was not crate trained to begin with. Now I also have the expense of replacing his collar, IT tag, air tag, and the air tag holder. Am I the jerk for being hesitant to buy a new crate? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. And what she did was inexcusable. She told you told her the dog wasn't crate trained. She assured you the dog wouldn't be in a crate. If anything, she should be compensating OP for the destroyed air tag and collar.
Well, I agree. Should not pay them for this. I think that if anything, they should take them to small claims at the end of the day and get their property, fixed. These OP left explicit instructions, and that's really what it boils down to. She violated what OP said, and she faced the consequences. If she didn't want her crate destroyed, she shouldn't have put the dog in it. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Honey Roo says, have you pinged the air tag? That really sounds odd. And OP replies, yes, this occurred to me earlier tonight, and it shows as last seen 2 days ago, and the last location is at her house. The incident happened 4 days ago. I just want to know how that air tag got destroyed. And Beautiful Monster 98 says, not the jerk, she should be paying you for the replacement collar and air tags. You literally told her that they weren't crate trained. What did she expect? And Lemon Charlie says, I would be reporting this through whatever service she was engaged with. If she's ignoring something like a lack of crate training in the background of her clients, what else has she ignored? And that's actually a really good point. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for insisting that my girlfriend register her business? I'm a 40-year-old male, and I've been with my girlfriend, a 27-year-old female, for 2 years now. From the start of our relationship, she has always made more money than I do. I'm the director of 2 limited companies registered in the UK, and she runs a freelance operation in another European country. She's a former academic as well. Since she started her freelance operation, she has been obsessed with bureaucracy, obsessed with taxes, and obsessed with health insurance and getting everything 100% correct. She makes a lot of her business decisions based on tax and stuff like that. It's one of those things that I actually don't really like about her, but I love her regardless. Occasionally, she'll also try to talk with me about my personal finances. She'll ask if I have an accountant, or if I've paid tax that I owe, or if I owe tax. It really frustrates me because due to my own addiction struggles, I didn't pay tax for the first 3 years of starting my companies. I didn't report my income, and I've only gotten an account for the past few months, and started this year, I'm reporting all of my income to the UK government. Well, she started making really good money after being a freelancer for about a year. Right now, she is comfortably making 150,000 euros per year. I personally make anywhere between 60,000 euros and 80,000 euros per year. Even though she makes much more than I do, she refuses to register her business as an official business. Her reasoning is that she's not hiring anyone, she's not a property owner, and there is minimal legal risks to her business at the moment. She said that she'll register the company once she knows where she's going to be residing long term, because if she leaves the country within a year or two, a freelance operation is much easier to dissolve than a registered business. Sometimes I worry about her lack of ambition. I want her to be successful and to run a successful company, and I fear that she just doesn't care. She's just not willing to do this one thing because she lacks ambition, and it's because she's a little bit lazy. She said that one of her main reasons for doing it is that she wants to enjoy her 20s and not have the type of obligations that come with being a business owner, because she fell behind on her travel plans due to COVID and is making up for it now. I find this so weird. Even if she were to make less money as a director, I think that her registering a business and becoming its director would be more mature and the smart thing to do. Every time she talks about being a freelancer, I feel a sense of disappointment. I sort of want both of us to be company directors, and I think that it would be an amazing place for us to be in, but she's completely ignoring how I feel. Every time I criticize her for this, and sometimes when I raise my voice at her because of it, she'll just start crying. She's always been so bad accepting criticism that it's draining to our relationship. She even brought up the criticism I gave with her uncle of all people. He's a successful serial entrepreneur and close to being a billionaire, and apparently he ripped me a new one, according to her. She said that he actually agreed with her, and that according to him, she should be the one deciding how to run her own business and what makes her the happiest, because money isn't the end-all be-all. So am I the jerk for constantly insisting that my girlfriend should register her business? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP, you're the jerk. It sounds like you're trying to make her run things the way that you want them run, but it sounds like she has a perfectly good handle on her business and is running the way she wants to run it.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is so bizarre and full of contradictions in this whole post. Like, oh, she goes above and beyond and the taxes and all this other junk and makes all of her decisions and is being too responsible. And I didn't pay taxes. So, like, okay, so you're saying she's lazy, but also she's not lazy at all. And she makes more money than you, but she's still lazy. I mean, come on. Come on. Is this guy just looking for a reason to break up? It kind of feels like that, right? Like, she's the one who's driving a wedge in the relationship. Just leave her alone, man, and let her run her own business in peace. You don't have to think about it, right? That's the beauty of her being a sole proprietor, is that she can run her own business and you don't have to. So I don't know why this guy is insisting upon this, because it's just absurd at this point in time. And then, like, he's upset too because the uncle actually agrees with her.
Well, because he clearly knows more than everyone about everything.
Yeah, so I think that OP just needs to get a life and leave their girlfriend alone and let her run her own business. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Centrifuge.
I mean, maybe that's a little much, but
Maybe not. Maybe not. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
What might you say about a bad poet?
I would say a bad poet is probably not a very good poet.
Their verse is most odious.
Ah, I see.
And it's Bad Poetry Day and also National Mail Order Catalog Day.
So, do catalogs exist? I want to know the answer to that question. And also, write yourself a bad poem. Or write yourself a poem badly. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it on business stuff.
Your business stuff will go a lot smoother if you don't sexually harass your colleagues.
Yes, don't sexually harass your colleagues. That's a great set of advice. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.